Hi, my name is Gina and I am a Tropical Vedic Astrologer, and I use the whole sign, whole house system. And today we are going to talk about the moon and the different moon signs. Before I discuss the moon signs, I want to quickly go over what is the moon? What is the significance of the moon in our charts? Many people connect to the description of their moon sign more than their sun sign. It's a really significant planet in everyone's chart, and the moon represents how we perceive the world, and it represents our preferences, our likes and dislikes. The moon also corresponds to the mother. So when we're between the ages of 0 and 1, this is the time period that shapes the condition of our moon in our charts. If our moon is extremely starved because it's conjunct Saturn, that can show us some things that was happening when between your ages of 0 and 1. Maybe your mom was going through an extremely stressful situation, or your moon can be with its friend Mercury, and Mercury is really helping your moon. The moon represents how we get our needs met, and it also represents how we get nurtured. So if our mother was able to nurture us, and if our mother was able to give us what we need when we needed that thing, that could have really benefited us. And because of that time period between 0 and 1, we're used to having our needs met, or maybe not having our needs met. So the moon also represents our comforts. What do we feel comfortable with? And that is usually a reflection of how we experienced life between the ages of 0 and 1. Another thing that the moon represents is our adaptability, because in this world we're not always able to get 100% of our needs met. That's not possible. But what the key is with the moon is how adaptable are we? And the moon also represents our home, our environment, especially between the ages of 0 and 1. Are we used to getting our needs met? Are we used to having a lot of nurturing, a lot of care, between those ages? So we might get used to that. We might expect that. Was our mom or mother figure unable to be there 100% of the time? Maybe she worked 2 jobs. Maybe she had other kids as well. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to the moon, but I think this is a great start, a great foundation. And right now I am going to dive into each moon sign. If you haven't already, please check out my moon boards on my website at hercosmiccrown.com/astrology, and if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see my moon boards and a quick description of each moon sign. But I am going to describe each moon sign more in detail right now. The next sign is Taurus. The description I have for Taurus moon people is resourceful, emotionally balanced and secure, stable, reliable, materially comfortable, and refined. A person with their moon in Taurus within the first 3 degrees has an exalted moon. If they don't have their moon in the first 3 degrees of Taurus, then they have their moon in the next best dignity, which is called Mula Trikona, which is where a planet gets its strength or its energy from. It's a source of energy for that planet. That is a whole different video that I'm not going to share today, but so maybe some other day I'll talk about Mula Trikona. Either way, having one's moon in Taurus is really beneficial. In the upper left hand corner we have a field of lavender, and Taurus moon is represented by nature. Okay, so Taurus represents nature, and having one's moon in Taurus, a person can really connect to nature. They may not want to harm nature, but they can see the beauty in nature, because we have to remember that Venus rules Taurus, and Venus is all about nature, natural beauty, and the natural beauty in the world. So lavender is this beautiful scented flower, and it emits this fragrance that is beautiful. It's also soothing. A lot of people use lavender extract when they're trying to calm their nerves and find peace. That's one of the descriptions of having one's moon in Taurus, is just being at peace. So it takes a longer time for a person with their moon in Taurus to really get angry. It'll take a lot. So they're very slow to anger. And this is probably because when they were younger, their mother or mother figure was able to give them what they needed when they needed it. So there's this peace about them that even if they don't have what they need, they know at some point they're gonna get it. And so they can feel at peace, they can feel calm, and they don't get rattled that easily. The next thing that I have is on the right of that lavender field, I have a beautiful house. You can barely see it, but it's this big house that is beautiful. And Taurus is the sign of big and abundant things. So there could be something about a person with their moon in Taurus that has an abundance of something. And it could be a house. It can have a really big house. And then Taurus is all about getting our needs met. There could be something about them that appreciates nice things and things that are secure and sturdy. And one thing that is secure and sturdy that I can think of are homes. Usually they appreciate and they provide security. And Taurus is all about material security. The next thing I have is like a market with a lot of fruits, vegetables. So Taurus is the sign of food. So they may really appreciate food, and really good quality food as well. We also have a picture of wine glasses. So wine has to do with Venus. Venus is about wine, you know, and wine is created from a natural source, which are grapes. And the thing about Taurus, it's not about overindulging and getting drunk or anything like that. It's about taking in what is good and not overdoing it. A person with Taurus moon, they can appreciate the things in life without ruining it, without overdoing it, and enjoying it, because Venus is about enjoying the good things in life. Taurus is ruled by the cows, which provide so much in nature. Their fecal matter, I guess you could say, is like fertilizer for the land, and they also provide milk for the village. Taurus moon is about having an abundance of milk, meaning an abundance of nourishment. So unlike a moon in Scorpio, or Scorpio, the sign of Scorpio, which represents the lack of breast milk, Taurus moon represents an abundance of breast milk. So that baby, unless there's some other afflictions going on with the moon, that baby was able to get its needs met. It was able to have an abundance of breast milk. I also have a Buddha statue here, which represents peace, maybe meditation, having balance, because Buddha was about having balance in one's life, not going too far left, not going too far right, but seeking a balanced path, not being too poor, not being too rich, but being somewhere in between. And the next thing we have is a lake and this beautiful image of a mountain in the background. So this is just an image of nature and appreciating nature. We have a couple in the lower left hand corner and they're kissing. So Taurus is a sign that relates to relationships. Taurus moon people in general, now we want to look at their Venus in their charts, but they might be really good lovers. One thing we want to look at is someone's moon. and when it comes to compatibility and things like that. So a person with their moon in Taurus, they can be really balanced emotionally. You would want, you know, to be with someone most likely who has who's not quick to anger, you know, and who's peaceful, and they're slow to anger, and they feel like they get their needs met, because they do. Another picture that represents serenity, a person's getting a massage, because Venus is about rejuvenating, relaxing. So if a person's Venus is good and they have their moon in Taurus, they can relax after working hard. And that's the way they can find balance, is work hard, and then also resting is such a Taurus thing. And we also have jasmine here, and jasmine is also a beautiful scented flower. So a person may like to spray jasmine perfume on them, which is a natural perfume, connecting to nature. But also Venus has to do with smells and scents, basically the five senses, right? So with the moon in Taurus, they may really appreciate being in this material body and enjoying the five senses and enjoying what life has to offer them. Thank you.